Good morning once again, Lebanon. Good morning to the viewers. We are still broadcasting live from the Waterkloof Air Force Base. Throughout the course of the morning, of course, we've been covering the repatriation process at about 6:15 this morning. We saw the plane touch down with the mortal remains of Moses Kotane and J.B. Marks. Now, on Friday, scores of SACP members converged on the Diepkloof Hall in Soweto on Friday night in terms of the preparation and preparing themselves for the return of Moses Kotane's mortal remains on today, of course. And the venue in Soweto is a stone's throw away from where Moses Kotane grew up. Right now, I'm joined by the national chairperson of the SACP, who's also the Minister of Public Works, Tulas Nesi. Minister, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. And let's talk about this ceremony in terms of the SACP and what it means.
Here today we're meeting talking about the great giants of the liberation struggle, which dates back from the 1920s right through. And this is very significant in the sense that for those who have been calling for the repatriation of their remains, the family, the friends and the communities, we think that we trust they will find closure to it. And secondly, it will also help us to reflect about the role which they played as the great communist in this particular country. And we hope that in the history books we will be able to record them and talk about their leading role and what they contributed to this particular struggle. This will make us look at the history and reflect on that particular history as we chart our way forward.
Minister, we're talking about that preparation on Friday of both J.B. Marks and Moses Kotane, and obviously the role that they played and the education that they received in Russia. Talk to me very, very quickly about the SACP today. And, you know, if we go back, in actual fact, when we go back, in the 70s, they were still very active to their very last breath. Talk to me about the modern SACP.
If I were to link what is happening in the SACP, our mission, our agenda has never changed. You might talk about different terminologies, but our focus has always been the fight against exploitation in all its forms, the fight against imperialism, the fight against racism, the fight against oppression all over the world as an international movement. And we're still continuing with the SACP to be fighting against oppression. But now that we have freedom, we are saying freedom does not mean total emancipation. We are talking about justice for all. We are talking about the basic services to our people. That's what the SACP is fighting for today, and that is the cause which the SACP is following today. And we are taking our strength from where Marx and Kotane left it. And remember, at the core of that, they are the embodiment of what we would call the unity of the alliance. That's why we always emphasize the unity of the SACP together, which is led by the ANC, the alliance, with COSATU, because they were the leaders in the trade union movement.
Minister, we're going to leave it there, but thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, and I can only imagine it must be a very emotional day for you. That, of course, is Minister Tulas Nesi. He's also the Minister of Public Works, but he's the national chairperson of the SACP, sharing his thoughts on J.B. Marks, Uncle J.B. Marks and Moses Kotane. Let's go back to the studio.